guest. We'll learn about the amazing results he's seen. Shelters across America are participating in this Get Moving campaign. Again, September 9th at 9:35 a.m. Good dog news you can use from You Move and your friends here at WOCA, The Source.
Oh, hey, Grandpa.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Cloudy and humid today with a thunderstorm. High 87 to 91. For tonight, a thunderstorm in spots during the evening. Otherwise, it will become partly cloudy and humid for the night with a low 73 to 75. For tomorrow and Friday, mostly cloudy skies, humid with a thunderstorm or two each day. High both days 89 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Welcome back. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As we say good morning to you, carrying on with this Wednesday, now 9:08, 8 minutes past the top of the 9 o'clock hour, moving right along. As up next here, my guest is calling in is Denise Madden with the All Florida home team of Keller Williams, as we're going to be discussing a little bit today with the idea of how to sell your home amongst this crazy year of 2020 and the COVID-19 pandemic and everything else that's gone along with it. But at the same time, too, we've noticed that this industry of the real estate is actually done fairly well within our community of Ocala through this pandemic, as this is one that remains to be seen as trending fairly well, and with advice on what to do to sell your home when it comes to maybe some staging, some safety, some pricing, and much more. On the phone, we have Denise Madden. Good morning, Denise.
Hey, good morning, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. How about yourself?
Great. It's a beautiful day, and I'm so excited to be here with you and your listeners at WOCA. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Absolutely, absolutely. With unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise with the Miami real estate experts you've been looking for. That's what you guys do. And to talk a little bit today, we've got you for a little bit of time to kind of discuss, well, a little bit of the trend and to talk about the market in general, about where things have been this past 2020. It's been a tumultuous year. Things have been different for everybody, a whole new perspective on so many things. And you're kind of here to give some insight on what it means for the housing market and for those looking to actually sell their home here in this year of 2020.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting year for all of us. And, Adam, I think the one thing and I'm not saying just Keller Williams, I mean, I love my company and we are number one, but for agents that I think have been working in this industry a long time, and I've been now I'm going into my 21st year, you just don't stop. Like my partner and I, we just did not stop. We were like, okay, we have a new hurdle that we have to overcome. How are we going to do it so that we're going to keep our clients safe, keep ourselves safe, and everyone else around? So at the very beginning, when this all took place, we were selling real estate like normal, and then everything sort of came to a stop. I think we all took a break. I think the world took a break for like a week, maybe 2 weeks to adjust to what did this mean. Mm-hmm. And then we just said, okay, we've got to find a new way to sell homes. Thank goodness our state and our governor realized that it's the real estate market that I think is really helping keeping our economy afloat right now.
Yes,
we're one of the very few industries that can keep working, okay? And so we just had to find a new way. So at the very beginning, especially with our clients, we have a big database of past clients. Joel and I probably sell on average 120 homes a year. So we have a strong database, and we had our own clients coming to us. What do we do? We're thinking of selling. And so we did a little funny video, but to really hit home that safety was our number one goal. And we have continued with that. So I will tell you, like, when we first have someone give us a call and they go, we're thinking of selling our home, we're not sure if it's a good time, and what do we do to get our home sold? So my first thing is always, this has never been a better time than right now. Not only in South Florida, Ocala, but across the nation. I would say for all the agents that I talk to and from all the articles I read, real estate sales are up and booming. We have found down here that if the property is priced right, it will not only receive an offer, we will receive multiple offers and we'll receive offers over asking price. Mm-hmm. Many of our properties are going under contract, within a week. It's crazy. So the first thing we do is, when someone is thinking about it, is a good time, we try to ask them some questions to know what their true motivation is.
Sure.
Some people need to sell their home. They're in financial straits and they have equity in their home. And so that's one reason. Other people have been thinking about selling their home and they're like, okay, should I sell my home this year or should I wait next year because probably the market will get better. From all the forecasts that we have read and all the meetings that we attend, we're heavy REO agents, which means real estate owned foreclosure properties. Mm-hmm. In 2021, you're going to see a big increase. I hate to say that, but all the indications are we're going to see a lot of foreclosures, a lot of short sales. So this really is the best time to sell. It really is the best time to sell. Now, if you're thinking, okay, I still want to live wherever I am for the next 5 years, hang on to it because real estate's a cycle. It's just like the stock market. If the stock market goes up, usually the real estate market goes down a little. And it happens like over the history probably 7 to 10 years, but it's usually around 7 years you'll see the cycle start to change. So it's sort of a flip-flop. Now when it comes to actually putting the house on the market and what to do, the very first thing we do when we go to meet a client, if they're comfortable with us going to see the house in person, we take all the precautions. We have gloves, we have our masks, we have shoe covers, we have a thermometer gun. So if the client is comfortable with us going to their home, and I will tell you that probably 98% of all our listings, people have been comfortable with us going. But before we enter the door, we even take our temperature gun and we shoot, we aim the gun at our head so that they can see we have no fever. And we let them know, listen, we haven't been traveling, we have not had COVID. I mean, we try to let them know right up front that we're healthy. And then we go into the property, we sit down, we go through the home, we look at the home, and we sit down. We'll show them comparables of what's happening in their market based on the square footage, the year of their home, and, just like you do normally, just like a normal listing appointment. When we leave with the listing appointment, which happens probably 9 out of 10 times, we're strong listing agents, then we get to work. So we will, once we come home and we put everything in the MLS and we get everything ready, we then will have professional photographs taken. All of our photographers here do the same thing. They all wear their masks. They ask that people are not in the house with them. One of us will be there. They're doing the same thing for safety as well. Everyone's main concern is safety. Okay, we want everyone safe, whoever goes in the house, out of the house. We do virtual tours, so we will do a virtual tour. We do it 2 ways. One, we try to have a company called Matterport. So this is extra. Most agents are not using this because it does cost. It's a good investment, but we feel it's worth it. It helps everybody. It keeps people from looking at the house that aren't really, really interested. Our goal is to have as few people as possible go through a home and that have shown, strong interest. So we don't just let anybody in. We want to make sure we have their pre-approval letter, or if they're paying cash, their proof of funds. So we will, do the video. We'll do a Matterport video, and then I or my partner or one of our team members will go in, and a lot of times we'll do live virtual tours, and we'll go on Facebook or Instagram. I'm getting more and more comfortable in front of the phone. I'll go, hi, it's Denise from the All Florida Home Team. And we'll do live virtual tours where people can log in and they can talk to us. They can send us messages and we can answer while we're doing the live virtual tour. Recently, we have seen, I guess people are starting to feel comfortable with the pandemic and what to expect. So down here in South Florida, and I know I have a couple of team members in Ocala that have told me the same thing, that they're starting to do more open houses. So as we've done from the beginning, before we let anybody into someone's house, especially during an open house, we have rules that we put on the front door. We only allow 4 people at a time to go through the house. Before people enter the home, we go in and we wipe down anything that someone might want to touch. Sometimes people will touch a doorknob or they'll touch a light switch. Whatever we think people will touch, we do offer gloves, though, at the front door as well. We prefer people to wear gloves. We take their temperature, and then we show them through the property. once they finish and they go out, we wipe everything down again and we start all over. We wipe all the handles, we wipe the countertops. It's, I think about a month ago, at the last minute, I said, okay, I'm going to do an impromptu open house from 9:30 to 11:30. Who the heck goes out at 9:30 in the morning? I had over 25 families. And I was by myself. I was like, OMG, what was I thinking? But I just said to everyone, please sit in your car. I'll take one family at a time. I checked everyone's temperature before they came in, gave them the gloves, and went through, and I did it. And that particular home, we had 8 offers by the end of the day. Wow. It was either 4, it was crazy. 4 or 5 were over asking price, and we just closed yesterday. We were supposed to close last Friday, but the funding didn't happen until yesterday. So I'm guessing, from what I'm hearing from my Ocala colleagues as well, that you're having similar experience up there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's been very good. It's fascinating. You touched on quite a few points there, but I think the one that's interesting is, just to the idea of where things may be trending to, like you mentioned in 2021. The unfortunate idea of mentioning it, but at the same time getting in on the ground up when you mentioned some of the short sales that'll be coming through and foreclosures. I did want to touch on, the idea of why it's so good right now. Is this a lot have to do with the lower interest rates right now with everything? And do you see a lot of first-time home buyers?
Okay. For sure. It's because of the interest rate.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. Like, for my sister is looking to buy a new home. And if you work with the Keller Williams agent, we have something called Keller Mortgage, and you get a lot of your fees removed just working with an agent. And she was approved last week, and the interest is 2.5%. I mean, you're crazy if you're even thinking of buying a home right now, not to go get pre-approved, because it's nuts. For sure, first-time home buyers, but you know what? We're seeing a lot of older couples that are downsizing and buying a smaller home. So we're seeing, for my partner and I, we're seeing 2 areas. We're seeing first-time home buyers for sure, and I love working with first-time home buyers because it's so exciting. Like, I get so excited. I've been doing this 21 years, and I still get excited showing them, to think that you can be a part of the process to help a couple buy. I'm giving myself goosebumps to be a part of their experience, which should always be a happy, amazing experience. It's great. So for sure, the interest rate it's really the unfortunate thing, though. So you've got good interest rates. Here's where we have a little dichotomy here. There's not as much inventory out there as we all would like. Mm-hmm. So for that reason, that's why we're getting multiple offers over asking price. I personally, this is just my personal take on it, I really don't like multiple offers for one reason. I want everyone to be a winner. Yeah. So I want someone to come into my listing and they go, oh, I want this house. And then they get the house. I hate it when there's so many people that want the listing and only one person can buy the home. That part makes me sad. So we need more inventory.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say, one of the things I wanted to ask you amongst this everything, for the first-time home buyer, what would be the advice that you would give right now with the way the market is, leading into 2021 as we come to the end of the year, getting into next year? Anybody who's, contemplated it, looking at how things are right now, but have thought, all right, we want to get a home, first-time home buyer, what would be some of the advice that you would give to them?
Okay, well, my very first thing, and it's always the very first thing, is you have to talk to a lender. You have to know where you stand. So many first-time home buyers, unfortunately, are younger, and they don't realize the importance of having a strong credit score, okay? And it's really important, if you're thinking of buying a home, that you talk to a lender and ask them, you discuss with them your goals. They will go through everything with you, with your finances, if you have student loans, if you have credit card debt. They need to keep the ratio. I think the ratio's got to be around 41%. And you need to have if you have a strong credit score, like my sister has a strong credit score. She's an orthopedic PA, but she has student loans that she may have for the rest of her life. Just because, but she still has strong credit. That's why she was able to get a 2.5 interest rate. The stronger your credit score. So that's always my first. And if for some reason, your credit score is not so great, they have ways to help you build your credit score within maybe a couple of months, sometimes just a month even. They can help you build your credit score so that you can get a lower interest rate. So the credit score and talking to a lender is number one.
Gotcha. Excellent. And a lot of good stuff there. Now, how about some of the advice of those who are kind of on the fence right now about whether or not to put their home up for sale? Like we said, it's trending right now in Florida. I even heard this little nugget of information that for the real estate agents out there, it's an idea that about 8,000 people a day, they say, come to Florida, come to this sunshine state. So there's an opportunity to sell. So what would you give for the advice of those who are on the fence about maybe selling their home?
Well, I think you have to really look at what your circumstances are, okay? If you're thinking of moving because you've either wanted to move to a bigger home, or maybe you want to move to a different city, or even a different part of the city, usually most buyers, believe it or not, they're thinking about buying or selling about 6 months before it actually happens. So NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, they have all these statistics, and they will tell you, they can tell from the internet, buyers and sellers usually start looking about 6 months before they're going to make the move. So my advice is this: if you're seriously considering selling your home, and especially if you have equity, do yourself a favor and do one of two things. You could call one of your local realtors and ask them. They can do one of two ways. You could ask them to come to your home, view your home, and give you an idea of what the property would sell if you were going to put it on the market in the next month. You could also do a virtual appointment. So most people today, not everybody, but the majority of people have some kind of phone where you can walk the person through the home so they can get an idea of the home, and they can give you comparables that way. So that would be my first thing, is that, talk to a real estate agent. Of course, somebody, like a lot of times, our clients will call us and they'll say, okay, what do you think we could list the home for? And just based on the square footage, the year of the home, and they'll tell us any upgrades they have. My partner and I, we're really good about giving them probably within a 3 to 5% range of what they could sell their home for. So if you're just on the fence, it's definitely worth getting a home evaluation. And then you can make that decision. Does it sound good? Will we have enough money after we sell the home to go to our next home? And whatever that may be. A lot of people now, too, Adam, are thinking, okay, maybe I'm going to cash out. I'm going to sell my home. I'm going to hold on to the money because I don't know what's going to happen for the next year. I want to have a cushion. And they're renting.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, we're just about out of time. We absolutely appreciate you taking the time to give us some great information there, Denise. Denise Madden with All Florida home team of Keller Williams. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for taking the time. A lot of good stuff and a great time in the idea of real estate right now. So thank you very much, Denise.
Adam, thank you. It was my pleasure. You can tell I'm excited. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do, so it's always my pleasure, and I truly thank you for having me on this morning.
Absolutely. With unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise, there you go. What you've been looking for and the information that you need right here at The Source. We appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of the week there, Denise.
Thanks a lot. You too, Adam. Stay safe and stay healthy.
You got it. WOCA, more to come back after this.
Clinical trials for a coronavirus vaccine had an adverse reaction, prompting the company to pause its study.